you agree at least that the mother of Jesus, Mary, is quoted in the Quran? You at least would agree.
There's a whole chapter based upon her name, Maryam.
Okay. So what my issue is that the Quran claims that there is no error in the Quran. There is nothing in the Quran that is clearly wrong. So everything can be substantiated. So one of the issues I got is when I read the passages of Mary and makes reference to who Mary is in relation to, it talks about being the sister of Aaron.
Sister of Aaron?
Yes.
Okay.
So the problem with that is Aaron was not around at the time of Mary, the mother of Jesus, yet it's referring to clearly the mother of Jesus, Mary, and then being referenced to being a sister of two characters that were actually born well before Mary.
Okay.
So that to me would be an issue, wouldn't it, if that was true?
If that was true.
Okay.
If that was true, yes, but I don't have knowledge about that. So I wouldn't be very conducive to any sort of answers that you want to get. Maybe you can ask someone from the Dawah team.
You're not part of the Dawah team?
I'm not the part of the Dawah team.
I've got a counter
I thought
question.
you was the leader.
If you're open to counter questions.
I'm the leader?
If we can get the evidence for that, and then we can move on to the next question. Yeah? So, because I think what you're stating is that there's a kind of contradiction here. And I think what the Quran states is that if you can find any discrepancies, that it can't be from God. So if you find any one discrepancy, that means it's just a man-made book and it's not from God. That's what the Quran claims.
We could make that argument.
Yeah. And so I think what he essentially wants to do, he wants to find evidence to show that there is a
That those
false claim.
people were not even born during the time of Mary.
There's a false claim, so therefore you shouldn't
So
follow
what
the
we
Quran.
believe has happened here is there's been a real kind of blunder, if you like, error made, where when those particular passages were written, they made a mistake of getting Mary mixed up with Miriam. Because Miriam is relative to Aaron and the other character, so that ties up nicely. So what happens
You believe that Mary is not Maryam?
Oh yeah, of course not. It's a different person altogether.
Okay.
Because there are about 1,000 years between them.
Okay, so for you believe that they are different people, but according to a lot of historical texts from Islamic scholars, which a lot of Muslims do follow, that Miriam is Mary, and Miriam would basically just be a translation of the name Mary. Exactly how when you say Egypt in Arabic, it's Masr. It's not Egypt. You get what I mean? But that's the translation. If you get what I mean.
The only issue I've got with that, if it was purely on a translation basis, I think there may be something in what you say. But the only problem is the passage is like a storyline, and that storyline is outlining very clearly the reference to Jesus. So we can clearly read that passage. You can only make one conclusion: it's the mother of Jesus that is being referred to, because it's not just a name.
In the Quran.
Yeah. So what I do is I can show you the verses in the Quran where it talks about Mary in reference to Jesus. So clearly from that passage I can only read it, and most scholars that's looked at this can only read it as being the mother of Jesus.
Okay.
So the only problem with that is, as you then read further down in the same passage, it then says that this same person is the sister of Aaron.
Okay.
So that's just not possible, as we know historically.
And how do you know that? How do you know that it's not possible?
Because if we look at the historical documents of Aaron, I'm sure you would agree when you do that Aaron was born, because it's not just Aaron, it's Aaron and all his lineage. If you look at the lineage of Aaron and all the other references in the Quran, it clearly shows that Aaron is the Aaron that we also see in the Bible, which is somebody that's sort of around 1,000 years before Christ. So therefore, you can see where there's an issue, because how can we have reference of Aaron, which is clearly the lineage of a family that was 1,000 years before Christ, talking about being a brother of Mary, who's the mother of Christ, 1,000 years later.
Don't you think you're getting lost in the details? Sorry just to jump in there, but is the message not more important?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Is the philosophy not more important than these details? Just, I don't want to sabotage your Congo, but I mean, it's really important for me to say that.
Tell him why it's so important. Why is it so important?
Can I just explain? Why it's important for them is because they want to disprove.
Oh no, I know why. It was rhetorical.
Yeah, I mean, and it's very unconstructive, and basically, yeah, they're coming, they're acting very nice, being very polite, but in truth, just trying to put me in a place where
you have to say your religion's false.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
But
So
basically,
can you answer the question rather than throw red herrings?
first of all, Aaron is not Aaron. Aaron was the name.
Aaron.
Aaron. Okay. I think that there were many more than just one woman in history called Aaron, right? That's first of all.
That's why the brother of Moses. Aaron is the brother of God.
You say it's the brother of Moses. He says that it's a female, the sister of Mary. You get what I mean? I don't have knowledge about. I don't have from the very beginning. From the very beginning, I said that I don't have knowledge about the issue. If you guys want a conclusive answer from a Muslim with knowledge, you have the da'wah team. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is, if this could be proven, because this is quite a major thing, it's not a minor point. That what I'm saying, this is just one of many, of course, but we're picking this point because it's an easy one to reconcile. It's not one that you can debate.
It's not necessarily an easy one. It happened a long time ago. I mean, there are lots of different historical texts that maybe say different things. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And
But
so
it's
it's not just because we read it from a certain source that we say, oh, because it was written, that means it's correct. We have to validify those sources. You get what I mean? So, I mean, I could go and research about it had I had the time, and I can get back to you.
That would be great. Yeah,
Right?
and we could continue the conversation.
But is the spiritual message not more important?